When you're importing video clips in Adobe Premiere, it tries to help you out by putting those clips directly onto your timeline. I want to show you a different way to do this using the source viewer so that you don't have to deal with so much extra footage on your timeline right away. It gives you a little bit more control. I'm going to delete everything, and instead you can always skip that first step and go in Premiere to File, Import, and find your files that way, and they will show up in your project bin down here in the left corner. If you're ever looking for other ways to view Premiere, you can go up to Window to see other options for your workspaces. I really like Essentials and Editing. We're on Editing right now, but those are nice options for having a starting layout for adding things to your timeline. Now I have 4 clips in this project. One of them is quite long and the others are quite short. I don't need to have all of these. I shot way too much footage, and I'll go ahead and show you this longer clip by double clicking on it down here and seeing it in my source viewer. Right now there is nothing on my timeline, and that's represented by the screen over here to the right. It's completely blank because my timeline is also completely blank. Up here I can see this entire clip that I shot. This was a tour showing how to get to the photography section in the library. A lot of this footage is just me walking through the library and not really information that I want to include at all. So what I can do instead of having this whole long clip on my timeline and then having to like gradually chip away at it is only include the pieces I want to include by selecting them up here in my source browser. So I can go to the first clip that I want. There's a little bit of an establishing shot at the beginning here. And I'm going to set my in points. There's a mark in and a mark out button. These are kind of like straight lines with little points for the in and out points. You can also use the keyboard shortcuts, which are I and O without any other key, and you can get pretty quick at this. So I'm going to go ahead and just do this quick shot here. I knew this was just going to be a quick one. I'm using my arrow keys to get to exactly where I want that clip to end. Now I'm clicking my out point, and now I'm just clicking on this entire picture up here. I can drag that clip down to my timeline, and now that is what is on my timeline, is just that one shot. I can zoom forward a little bit to where I am opening the door inside. And let's go ahead and see if there's a good clip here. Start with the hand out of the frame. Go ahead and you can use your scrubber here the same way you do on your timeline with the space bar or the play button. So I just want that clip. It's again highlighted on my timeline here. It's just a fraction of the overall clip that I shot. And now I'm dragging that one the same way down to my timeline so that we'll make that cut with those two pieces. Now this is also really handy if you don't want to have the audio and the video clip for a source file. If I was doing an interview and maybe I only wanted the audio, or maybe you're doing some B-roll and you don't care about having the audio included at all, you just want the picture, you can do that. I will go ahead and just demonstrate that from a different clip here, where if I set an in point and then an out point, instead of grabbing on the picture, you just click on either the video symbol here or the audio symbol only, and you will only get that piece onto your timeline. If you're trying to like stack B-roll, that can be really helpful so you don't end up with audio tracks you have to delete later. Now you can do this with anything that's in your source bin, all of your materials that you've imported. I did have to shoot a couple of things in separate shots because I'd forgot about them. So here's one. It's just a pretty still B-roll shot. Tried to hold it nice and steady, but I don't actually need that much of it. So I'm going to set my in and my out point and include just that little bit. This actually comes later toward the end of the video, but now I can combine things from my different sources, only the pieces I need on my timeline, so that I don't have to do as much cutting down here. However, I can, if I did cut something too short or too long, you are still welcome to adjust these clips the same way you would with anything else, but this is helpful to make sure you don't end up with more than you need on your timeline and a lot to sort through, since that navigation window is always a little bit hard to navigate.